Hi everyone, and welcome to another episode of Noodle Journey, where I'll be taking a look at Snapdragon's Kyushu-style spicy Tonkotsu ramen. I spotted this by chance in my local Acme, or Acme if you want to embrace your inner Delco. Sorry, only like a handful of you are probably going to get that. Anyway, my local Acme had this, and my primal noodle urges said I should buy it and give it a try. I also grabbed another variety for a review after this one. Snapdragon Foods is a brand I was unfamiliar with, but apparently they are a Vietnamese company and have a bunch of products available in American grocery stores like pho bowls, curry bowls, and ramen cups. This was $3.19 at my Acme, but you should be able to find these in other stores like Costco or in various online storefronts. This is just a slightly larger product weight than Mike's Mighty Good ramen cups and a slightly smaller product weight than most cup noodles, with a higher price than either one. I think this is probably the highest priced cup product I've ever seen in an American grocery store, so I would say that unless this turns out to be a delicious hidden gem of a product, it is overpriced, and that will factor into my review. I know that the price of goods has gone up recently, but this is just really expensive for what it is. But, maybe this will be a pleasant surprise. Or maybe we've got another Mike's Chicken Soup Cup situation. We'll see. I do want to note the slogan on the lid. Inspired by the street food of Asia, Snapdragon satisfies your craving for a rich, vibrant, mouth-watering umami flavor. Seems like they're trying to pass this off as a premium street food experience to justify that price tag. Okay then. There's only 760 milligrams of sodium in this, which is pretty low. Suspiciously low, if I'm being honest. Let's open up and see what's inside. We've got a very small round block of noodles, a soup packet, an oil pack containing soybean oil, chili oil, and garlic, and a dried vegetable packet including carrot, corn, and scallions with some sesame seeds. The soup packet contains both milk-derived ingredients and a non-dairy creamer, but otherwise appears to be vegetarian. Beyond that, nothing in here is a surprise, with just some garlic, onion, yeast extract, soy sauce, artificial flavorings, the usual. To cook this, we're going to dump in all 3 packets. We're going to add room temperature water to the fill line, and then microwave this uncovered for 2.5 minutes. I should note that there are steeping instructions also, but the microwave is just way more convenient. So let's do that. All right, this is microwave for 2.5 minutes, so let's stir this up. So it's interesting, the broth looks rich and definitely thickened up. It smelled better when I was adding the packets in than it does now. Almost as if the water diluted the flavor a little too much. When I added the soup packet, it had a nice artificial porky smell with some garlic and onion. Now that it's cooked, I'm not really getting any of that. So that doesn't bode well. But let's see. Huh. All right. So the noodles are fine. They're about the same texture as cup noodles. Nothing to write home about. Not terrible either. They're not quite as flat as cup noodles. They're more rounded. And they're mildly chewy. Very middle of the road. 5 out of 10 for noodle texture. This is labeled as a spicy tonkatsu, and all the spice is supposed to be contained in the garlic chili oil packet. But really, this is barely spicy. A mild tingle at best. less spicy even than something like Tabasco. I'm going to give this a 2 out of 10 for spiciness. It's barely noticeable unless you're really sensitive to spice. Now, as far as flavor, the garlic and the oil is the main taste I'm getting, and I like it well enough. I also like the consistency that the creamer elements have given this broth. It's got a nice combination of slightly thick and oily. But I'm also noticing that underneath the garlic chili oil, there's barely any flavor. I edited out a couple slurps, and I can tell you I got an occasional hit of sesame flavor when I ate one of the dry sesame seeds. There's some super mild soy and onion flavor in here, but this is mostly bland city. The vegetables aren't really doing much either. I read the ingredients a couple of times, so I know what I should be tasting, but there's just very little here. This needs more soy sauce, more umami, more something, or less water. I feel like this fill line is way too high. The smell was so much better when I put the soup packet in compared to what it is now that I think it got diluted, which makes me think that Snapdragon is trying to stretch the serving size of this product into something that it shouldn't be. All this to say that there is nothing about this that is remotely reminiscent of Tonkotsu. They have the nerve to call this flavor vibrant. The garlic oil and the thickened broth are literally the only things saving this from being a complete letdown. Because of that, I can't in good conscience give this a 1 out of 10 overall, but I can certainly give it a 2 out of 10 overall, and so I shall. This isn't a Lotus Food situation where the noodles are good enough to justify the shitty broth. The noodles are just okay, and the seasoning oil is fine, but everything else in here is way too muted and subdued to justify the outrageous price of this cup. So, this was my first Snapdragon product, and if I didn't have another one waiting in my queue, I would have said it was my last. What a rousing disappointment. Woof. If you're absolutely starved for a Tonkotsu adjacent cup product and you literally have nothing else available at your local supermarket, maybe this is a product for you and you could dress it up a little. But there are way better cup products at half this price point out there, so please buy one of those instead. Hell, I would recommend any of Mike's Mighty Good ramen products over this, and I do not say those words lightly. This does have a pretty low sodium amount for what it is, though, so if you're watching your salt intake, that could be the only way I'd recommend this. If this was priced at, say, $1.99, then I might tell you to roll the dice and see if it tickles your fancy. But at over $3, the jumbo-sized cup noodles cost the same. They're almost twice this size. A bag of Mama or Indomie noodles weighs the same as this cup, tastes way better, and still costs 60 cents. There's just no value here. The next Snapdragon product I have to review is their miso ramen. If I see their chicken ramen or any of their pho bowls, I probably won't bother with them unless there's some demand from you, my audience. Let me know. Who am I kidding? I'll probably buy it anyway. But it would be nice to have my poor decisions validated. So until next time, please like and subscribe to see where this noodle journey takes us next.